Good morning, everyone. So, I know, I have missed a few days of videos, which just had a lot of stuff going on, and I took a little bit of a break from kind of going over what I'm in, the meat prep and everything. So, just kind of summing up, last week was kind of just same as the other week. It was a lot of volume, and I was starting to get to the point where I was thinking, well, we're never going to get to the preparation stuff. Kind of spawns back to my last video about trusting the process and making sure that you trust that, everything's going on. I was having some serious doubts. I was thinking, since maybe my injury, maybe the coach wasn't, maybe she was playing it a little too safer than I would want to play. But today, I got my program and we're peaking. We're getting ready to go. So, I'm excited about that. And they're putting, looks like it's more of a RPE kind of thing, especially for the bench, because I'm not going to be able to hit really the percentage numbers that, you know, I used to be able to hit. So today will be my first will be the bench to see how well I can do. I'm targeting 315 on the platform if the shoulder can hold it. So I'm going to try to work up to that on the on the bench portion, or the 8 RPE 8 of 315. So I'm still going to be smart about it. I'm not going to be stupid, and because I don't want to wreck it for the squat and the deadlift is where I'm really wanting to go out there and demonstrate what I'm doing. So um, that's kind of where that's at. Um, Quick topic for today that I wanted to share and kind of go over as far as meat prep is um, what I've been kind of going over last couple of days and researching is the water cut terminology and how to water cut, because I believe that I'm going to have to cut if I'm going to make 308. It's just, I'm at 323 right now, and I'm not going to diet down to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to cut. So I'm looking at a water cutting protocol that I think might work for me, and I'm kind of formulating my mind. I'm strategically planning that. So the whole thing about the video is, you have to be strategic about your prep. Like, I talked about, things being limited. You can't go out and do a whole lot of stuff because you're away from food or you're away from water. That also has everything to do with like your travel schedule too. So I'm going to Ohio. So if I'm going to be cutting, well, doing a water cut, probably the least optimal time to drive is when I'm intaking, you know, a third more or half more water than I usually intake. And because we'll never get there. I'll be pissing every 30 minutes. So, and then also too, if I got to cut harder, and have to do some kind of hot bath, kind of sweat stuff, making sure that the hotel we're in has got a big enough bathtub to fit my big ass in, and or if it's next to a place where there's like a dry sauna or anything like that. So you got to really plan, what you're doing, and that goes down to the food too, because you're gonna be no carb, no salt or sodium intake, kind of going into that last day before you weigh in. So, are you gonna go to the grocery store and buy it there? Or are you gonna pack it, or what are you gonna do? What's the logistics and everything look like that? So you have to think about all that stuff, and you got to plan out pretty good. Because if you don't have a good plan going into it, it's not gonna succeed. So it's been occupying a lot of space in my brain, and like, how am I gonna pull this off? When I'm gonna start? When I'm gonna do it? So on and so forth, and the third. So um, really looking for that here in a couple, 5 weeks now. Well, it'll be more a lot shorter than that because if it's a week-long process, I'm gonna be definitely leaving probably. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna leave like before the water cut. Like we start, because Monday will be a normal day. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are gonna be loaded days. So do I leave on Monday? You know, and then proceed to cut. Tuesday, Wednesday, or increase water. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then go into you know completely cutting out water and sodium and carbs and all that stuff. So there's a lot of logistics around it. It's kind of complicated because you also got to think too, if you're on a budget, that can you afford that extra time in you know can you afford that extra time in a hotel? um, are you willing to risk traveling while you're depleted? Me, it being my first time, I don't think I'd really know. I think after the first time or two, you can kind of maybe make that judgment. But um, so yeah, prudent planning. Well, as they say, piss poor planning equals piss poor execution. So planning it, making sure you get everything good and strategic and everything like that. So that's what's been kind of going on with me the last couple days and thinking about what am I doing. So today's bench, we're in prep. We're finally getting there. We're finally going to start doing some heavy shit. So today I'll be doing my bench, and then I'll be posting some videos with that, and maybe some follow-up comment on that and everything like that too, because I have some announcements I'm going to be making as far as something else I've been working on too as well. So stay tuned, and we will talk at you in a few hours. All right, bye. So, recap. Pushed it pretty good today. Got a 315 for a single on my bench. So, um, felt pretty good about that. I figured that would probably be my best in comp, and it moved very well. Um, Minimal pain, so that's encouraging. Turned around, backed off, and did 225 for all the accessory stuff, for the secondary stuff. So just kind of want to save my shoulder for squats. Then we're blowing on bench because, let's be honest, whatever I get is a bonus on that. So yeah. Funny story though. I did a single 350. Well, I was gonna stop at 275. Okay. And I did it. I went over to the phone because I was recording it, and it didn't record. So I thought, "Oh, you're an idiot. You didn't record it." So I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna go up." So I went up to 315, which I wasn't expecting to do. Hit the record button. Went over there, laid down, pressed it. Felt good. Got up. we'll go take a look at it. It didn't record again. Turns out the damn phone was full in storage, and it recorded like 10 seconds of it. So I was like, well, what do? I got to send it to the damn coach. He's got to know I did it. I can't just take my word for it. So I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And I sat down and I did it again. So I actually did 3 singles, and which was, hindsight, maybe wouldn't have been the smartest thing in the world, but shh, don't tell anybody. So it went good. Definitely feeling a little soreness right now, but all in all, pretty good. And then guess what came in the mail today? My singlet came in today, so that is super exciting. And I was afraid that it was gonna come down to the wire, so I'm gonna have a little fashion show a little bit later. Called Enzer, because I was like ordering my sleeves and my wrist wraps like fucking 2 months ago. And I finally called him. I was just like, hey, is this stuff coming or not? Because if it's not, I'm gonna cancel my order, recoup some of the money. I'm just gonna get something that's gonna work so I can have it in a couple days. And lo and behold, it's done and it's shipping. So, yeah, I know I talked about some stress things and things I had to worry about as far as like things coming in and everything. And one less thing I have to worry about is where my gear is. So, good news. All the shit's coming, and bench is going up. So, y'all have a good night, and we'll talk at you tomorrow.